Randy Liu, and we're bringing you coverage of event number 4 now, which is a 1 million Hong Kong dollar buy-in short deck event. And as we can see, there's already been some chips flying back and forth here. We're bringing you coverage from the featured table where Phil Ivey is the short stack with just 33 antes. That's 100,000 chips, and Ben Tang is the big stack at this table. We'd like to welcome everybody on Twitch from around the world, and there have been 38 entries so far into this tournament. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this Triton Super High Roller Series has had 3 previous events. We just watched the conclusion of the main event. It was a 1 million Hong Kong dollar buy-in main event. The winner of that was Baziakowski. There's Phil Ivey, the winner of event number 1 of this series. He won the first event, which was the short deck event, and now this is the other short deck event of the series. This one 4 times the buy-in of the first one, though.
Yeah, it's going to be weird having to never see the deuces, 3s, 4s, and 5s today. And everyone's going to look like they got a premium every hand. Just 4x the buy-in, though. No big deal.
So for those of you tuning in who are not familiar with the rules of short deck or the way that the game is played, it's a standard 52 card deck. The only thing is, it's not. A bunch of the cards have been removed, the 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. So that brings us down to 36 cards only in the deck, which means that starting hand strengths are a lot stronger. The other change is that a flush now beats a full house. It's more difficult to make a flush in this game than it is in a full house, and therefore they've changed the rules and they make it so that a flush does beat a full house. The other rule change is that an ace counts as a 5 on the lower end of the straight.
Yeah, so if the board runs out 6, 7, 8, 9, and you have an ace in your hand, you will actually have a straight. Something that's hard to see if you're not familiar with the game. So we got Rocky Mauve, Trip Jacks calling the bet of Chan. The turn is an 8. So the equities run pretty close in this game because of all the cards that are considered bricks that are removed. So it's much easier to hit your straight draws, and therefore you should play them much more aggressively. So Chan is actually going to bet again here of King Queen. 60,000. He's got a 29% chance to win this pot. He needs to hit a 9 or an ace. So this is not a shot clock tournament, right? Seems like it's just a regular speed. Kind of missed the shot clock already.
So we saw Rakimov final table the opening short deck event. Chan cashed in the 2 no limit hold'em events in this series. And look at Chan moving all in, putting Rakimov to the test here.
So, is this a bluff or a value bet? I think
This is for
this
sure
is a bluff,
a bluff,
right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, in this game, I guess you can, you know, because usually someone has a piece, you're turning your one pair hands into bluffs more often than in no limit hold'em.
Yeah, I really like this bluff here by Chan. He has a queen in his hand, which blocks ace queen and queen 9. He also has a king in his hand, which makes it more difficult for his opponent, Rakimov, to have a high full house. Rakimov is a talented short deck player. We didn't see him in either of the long deck tournaments. Presumably because he was playing
he might
short
be,
deck side games.
Maybe he's a short deck professional now. That's very possible as well. Was in a tough spot. Now, what would I get? Your opponent does have ace queen here a ton, so actually king queen's a great bluff here. Your opponent's gonna have jack 10, king jack. Actually gonna have a lot of hands. In this game, you're actually trying to bluff people off trip jacks. No limit hold'em, this will never work. Rahimov's deep in the tank. They should make short deck shot clock tournaments next. That'll be fun.
And Rahimov deep in the tank here. He's saying, is Chan really bluffing me? Chan has a reputation as a little bit more of a tight player, and Rahimov lays it down.
Nice fold.
Great move by Chan there.
Jason Kuhn here was seen playing. He got 4th place in the 250,000 Hong Kong short deck event. So Devin Tang is actually the table chip leader right now. Almost 2 million chips. How did he get so many chips already? Jason Kuhn, he's got 644 antes as well. Phil Ivey though, 80,000, only 27 antes. In this game, you shouldn't be rebuying. First, let me explain to you how this works. So when you buy into the tournament, do you know what the starting stack is right now in this tournament, Kane? So it looks like you get 3 100,000 stacks. So when you buy in for 1 million Hong Kong, you get 100,000 chips, and then you get 2 yellow tickets that you guys see on the left here, near Jason's blue stacks, and those are each worth 100,000 chips as well. So what the players are doing is when they bust, they they use one of those yellow tickets to get another 100,000. You can actually claim them all right away. But most players are not doing that because they find that it's optimal just to stay as a short stack and try to spin it up because the antes are so large. So Jason Kuhn here has a open-ended straight draw ace. No, does he have a straight? He has a straight. I was going to say the open-ended straight draw. He's got a straight. 6, 7, 8, 9, ace. Ace acts as a 5. So I was like, oh, he's got a lot of percentage there for a straight draw. But Rahimov's got middle set. He's going to shove all in, and he's going to get snap called by Kuhn. Kuhn makes the call. And if you look at this, Kuhn has a 44% chance to scoop this pot. Rahimov actually has a 50% chance.
Yeah, Rahimov with the second best hand right now, but he's actually ahead in equity.
Obviously out of 6.
Yeah. Turn is a 10. Doesn't change too much. He's got 36% chance to win it outright, and he hits a boat. So in case you know, one of the rule changes, if someone had like ace jack of diamonds, they actually would beat a full house here on this board. Another rule change.
154.
So Jason Kuhn loses a big one. Kuhn, a very, very talented no-limit hold'em player. He has recently been playing a whole lot more short deck, though, as that's become a favorite among many of the players in Asia.
So we are playing 60-minute levels. We'll be playing a total of 7 levels today. Currently on level 5. And I've been told that cash games will be happening this week. So do follow the channel so you can get those updates. Also follow Triton Poker on Twitter. So Jason Kuhn here with Jack 10. He makes it 40,000.
Oh, it's 3,000, right?
Kuhn takes it down with his Jack 10. I like Jason Kuhn. I also like Dogfish Head beer, but I don't like denim jackets. So I'm not sure if I can root for him today.
You also like Jason Kuhn's chips. Maybe a little too soon.
There's the Bontang, or as I like to call him, Maxi from Soul Calibur.
I'm gonna Google this just so I feel like.
He has the same hair, I promise.
How do you spell Maxi? M-A-X-I?
That's exactly right.
Soul
Yeah,
Calibur.
it's put away. I'm not using it. I have it.
Huh. I'm waiting for Devin to come back on the table.
I wouldn't mess with Devin if he were holding nunchucks. Rahimov enters the pot. So with the ante and blind structure in this game, it really incentivizes players to call because there's already so much money invested pre-flop. You're getting a really good price to enter the pot, so you're going to see a lot more multi-way pots in this game than you generally see in no-limit hold'em. There's Phil Ivey. He won the opening event of the series. It was a short deck event. Ivey is considered a very good short deck player. I mean, Phil Ivey is just good at every form of poker, really.
Rocky Mob with King Jack of clubs. It's gonna open the pot.
Here's Chan with 9-10 offsuit. 9-10 offsuit, not considered a fantastic hand in no-limit hold'em. It's a much better hand in this game. And Ace-7 suited, considered a stronger hand, relatively speaking, in no-limit hold'em than it is in this game. Folds. These two players are going heads up. Quick bet and take it there.
You want to buy these? 250K.
Hold on a second. Sure.
Discount. You happy? I happy.
Should be able to do that. I'll make it an interesting tournament.
So the worst hand in this game is Jack 6 offsuit. Another very bad hand would be 7-6 offsuit in this game, equivalent to 7 deuce and 2-3 offsuit.
Hey, yeah. 50, 59.
So Ivy shoves here of ace queen.
That's true.
Jason Kuhn of 8-6 offsuit.
You're gonna lose half.
I don't quite know the odds on this hand.
I don't want to fuck it up.
He makes the fold. It's 8-6 offsuit. Any idea if that's a call for 59?
Yeah.
Ooh, into a pot of
disgusting.
77.
Well,
It was Jack 6.
I mean, it's
Is
a
it
good hand
77?
against aces.
Yeah, I think I'd just let it go for,
yeah.
for
But
that
you would,
price.
but you call like 8-9 offsuit, right?
That's a guy who thinks I want.
I've seen people call. I don't know. I've seen people call. I'm making an assumption based on how other people play.
Right. Well, 8-9 offsuit's equity against ace queen is pretty good in this game.
Folds to me.
Jason Kuhn saying this is interesting. Nobody entered the pot. Kuhn just calls with Jack 10. You'd see a lot of players, I think, raise in last position there with Jack 10.
Yeah. Something that is more common in this game is the limp re-raise. So since a lot of people are getting a great price to limp because your ante is kind of similar to a small blind where you only have to put in 3,000 more to continue in a pot, not like a full 6,000. People will limp a lot, so therefore you will also see people limp strong hands to try and trap players who are trying to punish those limps. So there are the ante rules, the short deck rules on the top right. 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s are removed.
Hi.
Ace can make a straight for a low, counting as a 5. And a flush beats a full house. This tournament has been running for about 4.5 levels. We're on level 5 now.
Well, Sass joins the table.
Yes, sir.
So we saw a lot of Alan Sass in the short deck event. He's all in. He made the money, from what I remember. Yeah, he made the money, right?
100.
Yeah, Sass
Yeah.
did make the money. Played very well, a more tight, solid kind of game.
See one.
Sass just...
Let me see a jack.
Does it really matter what card you show? Not too much in this game. It's always going to be a reasonable hand.
Yeah, there's a lot more gamble in this game than in No Limit Hold'em. So you can see Sass taking a seat and moving all in on the first hand. Of course, he still does have 2 bullets behind him.
Oh, it's great. Everybody's chilling.
Let me just check.
Yeah, that's been friendly.
Just leave. You got a final table stack.
Yeah.
So I personally haven't played short deck yet, but I've watched many hours of it. I feel like I'm getting better and better at it just from watching. I mean, you know, if I watch enough, I might late register this million Hong Kong short deck Ante only event.
Yeah, so some notable things about hand strength in this game, pre-flop, is that all of a sudden it becomes really important how connected your cards are. The difference between Jack 10 and Jack 9, for example, is massive. Cards that are actually connected are very important. I believe that suit actually matters a little bit less in this game than no limit hold'em, just because of how rare flushes do come in. Even though flushes now beat full houses, I would still say that no limit hold'em suit is more important. And the other thing is that just the equities. Take a look at the equities in this game. If you get all in with ace king against kings in this game, you're almost a flip.
Maybe not. But maybe.
Phil Ivey has already lost his first 2 bullets in this event. He's in
What
for
do you
his
think
third.
the most number of
Well, he is able to spend another million Hong Kong to get 3 more
It's
bullets.
a good one, yeah. I don't
Unlimited
think-
re-entries.
I don't think it's too high.
I believe some
It's
people.
10K Annie, the level
More than
that
that.
you...
When they stop? Tomorrow?
Ante, I guess.
Tomorrow, 2 levels. So it's 10K Annie. Yeah,
it
way
more
more
than
than
that?
8.
I bet more than that.
Yeah.
Wow. What a tourney.
So some people were in for
Less.
at least 5 buy-ins, I believe, in the first short deck tournament we had. Jason Kuhn was in for multiple and needed 4th place just to break even. So this is a very popular one. Queen 10 of clubs. What do you do here? You fold?
I would fold facing an open.
But it'll never be bad, right? Against Queen 10, I guess you would go all in. If, against Ace King, if you could see his hand, it'd be a coin flip, roughly? It's like, or like 45, 55?
Probably closer to like 40, 60.
40, 60?
Yeah. Nano, if I could see his hand, I'd probably take a flop.
That is true. In this
It becomes
game.
very easy to play when you know your opponent's cards. And I don't think I'm going to get him off at pre-flop.
Well, Ivy's only got like, he's got very few chips left. Just looking for an opportunity to go all in.
Thank you.
Goes limp, limp, limp over to Tobergson. It's his button, and he does raise it up. It may look like he's trying to take a stab at this pot here, but he does have a real hand, ace-king. But he will not get Jason Kuhn to fold. His 9-10 offsuit is one of the hands in this game that just has very good equity against everything. He does narrow down the field, though, and these 2 players go heads up.
So they both flop straight draws. Jason Kuhn is actually a 50%. He shoves all in. 50%. This is unheard of in no limit hold'em. So with a straight draw, you should be very aggressive, because if ever you can get your opponent to fold the flop and you're flipping, then you're gaining chips.
Yeah, so Kuhn just goes all in, it looks like, for 2 times the size of the pot against Tobergson. And I like this play here by Kuhn because you don't want to check over to Tobergson and allow him to put in chips and get himself committed.
Yep.
You have no pair, but because you have an up and down straight draw, even if Tobergson had top set, you'd still be like 44% in this hand.
He's going to make the call.
Wow, Tobergson makes a good call here.
A literal coin flip right now.
And Tobergson was thinking, you know what, Kuhn could have 9-10. Perhaps he could have king 10 suited. And so he made the call.
Turn is an ace. So Kuhn only has 25% now to hit a straight, king or 8. River's an 8,
There
so
it
he
is.
makes the straight. Torbergson is out of re-entry ticket, so if he wants to continue playing, he needs to put up another million Hong Kong dollars right now.
So it continues.
No more chips, but registration is still open.
They can still register tomorrow for 2 or 3 levels.
Man, the swings in this game are crazy.
Yeah, buddy.
He's got 2 bullets behind, worth 100,000 each. When registration closes, you must buy in for your extra bullets. They will be added on. So you can't get to the final table with yellow tickets and just bust and like, okay, I'm back again.
Feels about right. Maybe I feel like I might be like a slight touch higher, but I could be wrong.
62, something like that.
No, I was thinking 58, 40.
Turn off. Can I just put it in my backpack?
Who's 58?
Yeah.
What is it?
All right.
What was that hand?
What was it?
You the favorite that hand?
I was trying to get. I have no clue what I am. I was thinking like he's a small favorite, like maybe like.
No one knows the real equities.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they were 50-50, but our graphic is influenced by card removal.
Alan would know. I wouldn't.
What's up? For the equities or?
Yeah, like yeah.
What's up? I just got pocket aces
Probably
here.
a little over 60 or like 60-ish.
Yeah, no one knows equities. Confirmed.
I can't hear you.
Who's 60-ish?
He is.
I had backdoor spade. Yeah, 60-40.
Yeah, 60-40 sounds right.
But our graphic said
Seems like a nice
50-50?
even, fair
Well, that's
number.
because there was card removal.
What cards were removed?
I don't remember, but whoever folded pre-flop, those cards were taken out.
Let's see.
Ace, 10-9 clubs.
That's a 3-way all in.
All right, let's get him, Phil.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even know how
Got
far
one of these.
Sass is ahead.
I think Phil's winning this one.
Ivy's got
Only in short deck. The 3 players get it all in.
Then I lose a little.
And everybody says, oh man, 9-10 suited's going to win this one. And
Flop.
2 9s on the flop.
for Phil Ivy.
Thought about right.
Those of you who are tuning in to watch Phil Ivey, that's a good flop for you.
Turns
Oh,
an ace.
my. Look at this. And this is looking like a
One
rounders
more.
board.
One more out.
Is that a 9?
There's a king.
All right. Eh,
So-
70, 90,
I'm out of jail.
what do you have? 97?
no, way more than that.
Wait.
He's out of jail. He said he can get his phone back.
90. Yeah.
So Phil Ivey has been eliminated from this million Hong Kong short deck event.
Should have been my way for once.
He'll need to put another $1 million
Sir.
to get back in with 3 more bullets.
Yeah, he is. He is out of jail, but he did not pass go. He did not collect $200. I think we'll be seeing Phil Ivey re-enter.
Look, you might think it's been a tough day or two, but he won.
Oh, and the graphics on the show aren't right at all.
Oh yeah.
They're not right. Oh, they might be, but they use card removal of like known hole cards, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, so aces in a 5, flush doesn't beat both type thing.
Well, no, I think they actually have the calculator right, but they know all the hole cards out, and it uses the equities after knowing all the dead cards.
All the dead cards.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like you
It's
just
like a
never-
genius that
Yeah, it's
will never be
a
us.
super user.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point that I was making. So in that pot, it is possible that
Yeah.
Alan Sauce's
That's
Sass is
close.
right
I think it's more.
that it's 60-40, but the reason why Kuhn would be higher is if we hadn't seen any kings or 8s removed from the deck, that would give Kuhn a higher probability of hitting a king or an 8.
Yeah. It sounds tricky, actually, because some outs should always be removed in this game, right? Well, we got Gabe Pogorski here. He got 3rd in the event that Phil Ivey won. Event number 1.
420.
Pogorski. He was in the booth when we were doing some cash game commentary for you the other day. He's just standing and playing.
Do it.
Pogorski final tabled the opening event. It was a short deck event.
Yeah, flush beats full house.
When Gabe was in the booth, did he mention if he prefers short deck or long deck?
Bounty, 100K chips every
Yeah.
I think he's, if I remember correctly, he said that
Good luck.
he just likes, I don't know, he just like whatever game is running, he'll play.
Booyah. Alright? 可以。可以。可以。Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's good.
So Jason Kuhn,
Cocktails?
he puts all his red chips on one side and the yellows and blues on the other. It's kind of like a goal, you know? You just throw the chips in the middle and he just gets bigger.
Just the internalizing playing those stakes like killed me. Brain, heart, like an endocrine system of like being on adrenaline.
Oh, you get endocrine on us now.
Yeah.
But then your friend Gabe bought you all those chips and bought you all those chips.
Yeah.
Good friend, right?
Oh, that's right. Both stacks. That's sick.
I pay for them.
Stacks are basically.
Pay for it on my account.
That's amazing. That shows who accumulates the most chips in this game.
What was the third card on the Jack Queen board where Kuhn got it all in? Do you remember?
I feel fine.
A 6 maybe?
Maybe a 7?
7.
I need to do all the work for you.
It can only be a 6 or 7, right?
All right.
The equity is 50-50.
We have to do the whole card thing, or we
Yeah, okay, so Alan Sass is wrong, Phil Ivy's wrong, every single
Well,
one is...
Ivy was asking.
So Ivy's not wrong.
He didn't pretend to know, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Alan Sass might have not accounted for Kuhn's backdoor flush draw. Let's see if Kuhn had not had the backdoor flush draw.
15.
Look, we got the real equities. I think we found an edge in this game.
Just to show you how rare flush draws are in this game, it's 50-50 when Kuhn has the backdoor flush draw.
Okay.
When Kuhn doesn't have the backdoor flush draw, 48-52. It's because it's just so difficult to make a flush in this game because instead of there being 13 cards of the same suit, there are only 8 cards of the same suit.
So Pogorski's going to try and stab here with 8 high, literally just the nut low. Kuhn here with a pair of kings, trying to figure out if he's ahead.
Excuse me, can I get a water, please?
He beats 7-8, 7-9. He makes a call. Pair of kings. Look at his board. Very nice
Wow.
call.
We got
Pharaoh King.
What a call by Kuhn.
Yeah, what? I don't think Pogorski expected to be called by King 8.
so big, 5 or 4 people. Huh? No, for USA. Yeah.
I know I can always depend on you, Kane, whenever I need some
thanks.
statistics.
Oh, this one's not mine. I don't know.
A lot.
I guess you're being serious.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes,
thanks.
yeah. I like that.
Steven's going to fold 10-6 offsuit.
Yeah, it's weird doing that because like I've never done anything like that before.
Alan Sass with ace queen of diamonds.
Tom's like,
Thomas doing a good job too.
he did it. Yeah,
Going to raise it up, I
didn't know
assume.
You would do it as well.
But I have seen him kind of limp a bunch too.
He was like, I have to go eat.
So I think he,
And I was like, whatever.
I think he does limp. No, actually, sorry. Jason Kuhn was the one opening. Now it's on Alan.
like cash game people are more friendly and talking.
Shoves all
Like,
in
if you should
for
shut the hell up and let the
253,000.
People want to hear talk about the hands. It's weird, but
Now you can go yep.
So
and-
Jason Kuhn with King Queen offsuit.
Yep.
75.
well, if you guys keep busting, I'll be coming here.
Jason Kuhn in bad shape against Sass's hand here.
Make a really tight fold.
He says he's going to make a really tight fold, but
It's okay. You'll see it on the stream.
he only has 32% equity against Sass's hand.
Folding king queen? What?
That's it, man.
I'm not sure.
Pogorski knows. It's less impressive if you call a hand out in this game, though, than in long deck. There are just so many fewer combos total.
That's a good one.
I hope you just didn't hit me with the 10-8 or something. Just fucking.
That's a good hand.
I know, yeah, I know. I just hope you didn't do it, you know?
Maybe it was suited.
The hand is called the Allen Sass because he always shoves with it.
The 10-8?
So, you know,
I've seen it.
it's either ace king or 10-8, maybe queens.
Might have been the.
Boom.
I really hope it wasn't. Was it the 10-8 exactly?
30 minutes. Cool. 30 minutes.
So over to Devin. He's got king queen suited on the dealer button. He's gonna make a raise.
Battle of the big stacks, Devin. Like,
No,
I gotta like get away more.
just playing my hands.
Maxi
Play the cards.
raising it up,
Shoved on me.
taking it down.
He was playing his cards.
Maxi wins. That might be Mortal Kombat, though, right?
That sounds like Mortal Kombat.
Fatality.
We have a big pot.
What you did?
That was not even close to fatality. He wanted a little bit of chips. You gotta wait till he stacks them.
Friendship.
Take 300
That was one of the things, right?
Take it
Friendship is a thing, yeah. Friendship actually kind of reminds me of that the cash game you guys played the other day. That felt very friendly.
Just
Here.
fold, man. Be cool.
This is a pretty friendly game for such a big buy-in.
Now, you at one point were a competitive Street Fighter player,
Yeah.
right? Who was your character?
Love short
In
deck.
that game, I picked Sagat, the one with the eye patch.
What else work?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
He's
you
one of
don't
the-
hear that very often.
He's the boss. He's one of the bosses.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Did I have it?
It's very. I like to play simple
Just
characters.
fold it. Stay stubborn and like fucking.
Like, Gabe, shut up.
I was a very level 1 Street Fighter player, so I always picked Dalheem so I could stand on the other side of the map and try not to get hit.
I like the idea of that.
Who's out?
Wish you could just keep walking off the screen and still punching. You know, that would be fun too. Pogorski of ace-9 in the cutoff.
Either that, or I just take Blanca and just electrocute myself the whole match. And
My hands weren't fast enough to make the lightning happen. You know. All right, so Kuhn's gonna call her queen 9 in position. I'm not sure if this is a standard raise, but you do got position. He flops. They both flop bottom pair. Goes check, check. Pogorski now, the nut flush draw. He actually has the best hand, but I think he thinks he's bluffing with the pair of 9s because he can actually get a lot of jacks to fold here. But Kuhn's going to make the call with only 18%. River is a 6, doesn't change anything. The blankest card in the deck, unless someone has ace-8 to make a straight. Jason Kuhn, I believe he's checked to Pogorski. Oh no, Pogorski's first to act. Try and decide if he needs to bluff ace-9. Probably suspects he does, but he checks. Kuhn with a pair of 9s probably doesn't think his hand is good, and it's not.
Not gonna win often, but I can win a little something.
Yeah, you can't beat this. Oh shit.
No, I actually. I can't.
Whoa! The old 10-9 off.
If you bet it, I was shoving anyway, so
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta check behind the losing hand, you know?
I thought like 5% of the time I was gonna win, maybe.
What's funny about that?
I
That's
beat,
fucking neat.
I beat a few hands.
Oh, that wasn't a needle. No, I'm serious.
Ace,
It's
ace,
one-
ace, queen.
Like what? What?
Right, but no, it's one of the hardest things in poker is when it's really hard to win a showdown and you have to check. That wasn't a needle. I don't.
No, I didn't think. I mean, even if it was, fucking, you deserve it.
Yeah, what?
I thought it was. Like, what? Check that behind.
Alright, cool.
Everyone's having some fun. Pogorski limps Jack 10. Kuhn comes along King 7 offsuit. It's probably one of the more not so good hands in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting such a good price there, though.
As long as Sass doesn't raise too much. So Sass actually has a double gutter, a 52% chance to win. So he's going to actually bet.
Cool. Cool.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sass is going to like that turn.
Yeah, he bet the flop, got called by a pair of jacks.
Nice stack.
And Sass is going to bet the nuts, 30,000.
Pogorski, a little bit more of a loose, aggressive player. Sass is hoping that he's not going to let this one go, but he does.
Still want water?
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Just gave me a funny look and I had a smile.
Does that mean you would fold to my shove?
That's a good question.
Hola, hola.
That is a very good question.
Dave's always loaded up, you know. He's always the question of if you would have folded to my shove is always live, and he's not shitting. It's like he really was thinking about it.
Well, now that you know that,
I'm terrified,
I gotta change my whole game.
bro. I just checked, man. I just like whatever.
So in case you guys missed earlier stream, Makita Batsiakowski won the main event for 2.5 million USD.
Oh, I see.
What we just talked about.
You're right.
19.6 million Hong Kong dollars. He defeated Rui Cao heads up. Also had to make his way through a very, very difficult final table in order to win the event.
Some service around?
Steven here with a nut straight draw. Should he be calling here?
Some food.
I kind of feel like he should be, because if Kuhn is betting straight draws himself, then he's got the nut high card. I've seen a lot of players call this previously,
The bet is very small, so I would be calling here.
but I think he's raising 38,000.
Yeah, I like this aggressive play. And now Kabortsky, who also has a nut straight draw, does not want to
He's
let go of his
drawing
hand.
to the 9. He's going to make the call as well. And Kuhn, actually with the
Kuhn,
best hand,
in a
is
very
going to
tough
fold.
spot, yeah, has to fold.
So Devin here, King Jack, turns a 7, gives
And-
Pogorski a pair.
In this spot, if I'm Devin, I can't imagine that Pogorski has anything very strong, because he's so shallow relative to the size of the pot. He probably would have just came over the top on the flop if he had a hand like
Set of
top
sixes.
2 pair or a set.
Mhm.
So, but I'm having a really hard time putting him on anything, actually. Like, I can't figure out what hand he'd want to play this way.
Right. Like, would he really call the King Jack himself for this raise? I'm not sure.
No, it seems very unlikely.
So Demon's unsure too, so he just checks.
Yeah, Devin can't figure it out. He checks behind.
River is a king, so Devin actually has the best hand, but it does not look that good. Pogorski realizes that he needs to bluff to win this pot. He shoves all in. 360,000.
Huge overbet shove here by Gabe Kabortsky.
Representing Jack 10 exactly. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but then again, what does Devin beat?
Right, I mean, Pogorski could also perhaps have had 8-9 with a backdoor flush draw. I mean, certainly if he did that with 7-8, he'd do it with 8-9.
When you look in your hand, you've got King Jack to a triple pot shove. He wants to show a card here.
You guys watching this?
He wants to show a 7. Wow.
You got the fake camera, let's say.
He really went for it, that pot.
Well,
I didn't hit on the river,
Yeah.
but the turn. Why did I hit on the turn? I don't think,
QQQ.
Is there a stream? Are you guys watching to see your hole cards or whatever?
We can't check phones.
Oh, cool, cool. It's not on the big TV anywhere?
Yeah, it's true. It's like right behind us.
So they do not know the hole cards of their opponents. We have at least 42 entries. Some of them are re-entries.
Alan, you got a lot of TV time this week.
Kids are loving it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Devin, me and you need to.
I was hoping to get more of this, get a little value out of this tournament.
Yeah. Fuck those Americans, right?
Right.
What is this? You know he's from Virginia.
I'll stack
know.
Alan. You
I
stack.
know him for a long
You
time.
stack these.
So Sasser,
2-1-2.
pocket 7's gonna try and flop a set.
Welcome, Richard.
Hello.
Fold.
I check.
So it's gonna be a heads-up limp pot. Pocket 7s versus ace 8. Both players not connecting. But Sass is the one that's probably going to be betting because
Richard,
he's
how many binds?
betting into a player that has any 2
Day
cards.
7-1.
Yeah, one.
Alan 2.
What's up?
2 binds.
Yeah.
1.
Well, no.
What do you think the number, the max is? Like, who's gonna have the most?
Me.
You know, like what? 8? 6?
Probably 7, 6, 7.
Ivy said definitely over 8.
Yeah, I guess if someone's running bad on tomorrow,
At the end, it's like gonna be insane.
Dude, the level that okay.
in a good way.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun for everybody.
Okay. Rebuy period ends. The next level is 10K ante. So you have.
Here we have
30
Richard Young joining the table. He won event number 2, which was the
Well, I'll get to
6 max
experience that.
no limit hold'em event.
He defeated Steve O'Dwyer in a great heads-up match. So they were speaking and saying that they predict, they're trying to guess how many buy-ins the most someone will rebuy for. Prediction is 8 rebuys into this tournament. That would be 8 million Hong Kong dollars.
Wow. And Ivy said that he thought it would for sure be over 8. That seems high to me.
That seems very high to me. Because you get 3 bullets per rebuy, so you'd have to run pretty bad, right? Like, usually you should be able to spin one of those. Like, if you bought in 8 times, you would need to lose a minimum of 24 all-ins before registration closes. Which seems kind of hard to do, but maybe it is possible.
Yeah, well,
doing it for the goodwill.
they take care of you even when you're not on TV, so it's nice.
I guess that's true.
Jason Kuhn calls here. Queen 9, not a strong hand in this game, but considering he's getting such a good price, he enters the pot.
That's
Interesting that Kuhn is stabbing here. It seems like Kuhn is stabbing at quite a few pots.
He's putting like a small bet.
Yeah.
Just hoping no one has anything.
I think he's just trying to clear the field. He knows that equities run pretty close, and if he could get a fold from like ace-8 of spades, for example, which he did, then he wants to take every advantage to narrow the field.
So Sass has got king 10, the best hand. Probably not much value in betting, so he does check.
Beautiful hand. You just ravaged your stack, man.
Sorry. Sometimes I do it on purpose, but this time it was. It's okay, man. It's okay, man. Uh-oh. Oh, 30 stack. It's fun to stack the chips, I think. Uh-oh. Honey, man. No.
Cool.
Call from Kuhn. We've seen Kuhn more likely to call pre-flop than the other players at this table. We got a raise up here from Alan Sass.
Remember than the 250k, Sass was actually limping queens a lot, trying to induce shoves. But today, a different strategy.
Just to show you how close equities run in this game, if Kuhn had chosen to take a flop against Sass there, he had about 40% equity with his ace-8 offsuit against pocket queens.
Yeah. Let's just totally do speed next year. Yeah, trying to figure out what your hand is.
Right. Or you can have a shot clock.
Yeah. Next year.
Or maybe the year after that.
Whoa. Whoa.
So Richard Young's got 85,000.
If I put my cards like this, does it read?
Spread.
Have to spread.
He's going to make a raise.
Raise. 23.
Practically all in.
Yeah, it seems like he's committed now, and there's Pogorski. The aces.
Sorry to call you over, but not really. But
So he's going to
can I please
put
get a gem
Richard
sandwich?
Young all in.
Thank you.
And Mitch, is that a food,
And
food me?
Yeah.
he's going to see the bad news.
Yeah, Young has about 28% equity in this pot.
Did not fold. I don't think I folded a king or a 10. Always a sweat.
So on this flop,
Jack of spades for
looking
fun.
for a
Oh, no,
9.
I didn't do anything. Jack of 9. Oh. Rebuy.
That
So-
won't do it for Young, but he does have 2 rebuy chips. He'll use one of them right now.
He'll get another 100,000 right now. Yeah, so king 10 with 28% against pocket aces all in pre-flop. Seems great if that was the case. No limit hold'em, which is always try to crack aces.
Yeah, this game much different than No Limit Hold'em. Equities run a whole lot closer. For that reason, I'm surprised we haven't been seeing more limps at this table. I really like the way that Jason Kuhn is playing so far. He's limping very wide, and he's betting very small on a lot of boards, trying to just get people to fold out their equity. I think that's smart.
Whoa.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I think I know what it is. 1 second. Oh, 1 second.
Need a second this hand?
Oh, 1 second. Thank you.
Just need a few.
Raise. 60.
1001. This. I have the Thai basil chicken with fried egg, and I also have. Could you have this?
All right, so Pogorski's raising with 10-9 high. He has 4% chance to win this pot. He's an aggressive player.
Yeah, I don't really know what he's thinking here. It was a 4-way flop.
All in.
And Alan Sass shoves all in, and he's going to make the fold. I mean, Pogorski is one of the most aggressive players I've seen in the short deck, so happy to learn to try to see what kind of cool bluffs you can make in this game.
Bump it up.
Yeah, we saw a couple of very interesting bluffs the last time around. Specifically, we saw one heads up between Phil Ivy and Jungle Man, where Ivy turned pocket kings into a bluff on an ace-10-jack board, kind of using his kings as blockers.
Yep.
Congrats on the other final table.
Yeah, good job, Ivy.
Yeah, nice, man.
What is that, 2 now?
Cool.
Did you final table the other one too?
Cool.
The short deck? You final table short deck too, right?
Cool.
I check.
Oh, sorry. 对不起。
对不起，
对不起。
没问题啊。
So Sass here checks around, and
好，睇你唔到。
Pogorski has a straight. Sass has blockers to the straight. Doesn't take a stab here. River is a queen. So Pogorski with the nut straight. Probably gonna bet and hope a queen will call him here. Although no one has it.
佢食得馬拉糕多啊嘛，係咪啊？食肥咗，屌佢！嚇，你做咩咁啲嘅？
Overbet the pot by 3,000.
係啊，你真係老友啊！面紅啊，講到我。
And Sass is gonna call pocket tens on this board with the blockers.
咁係。
Still gets shown a straight.
好嘢。
Blockers don't matter.
I almost folded.
No, you didn't. You're calm.
No, suspiciously large
你
bet.
頭嗰半個鐘頭打穩啲啦，適應下先。
But I had the
點
perfect
啊？
hand to call.
等成點啊？
You figured it out pretty easily. So.
今朝早有冇執到啊？今朝早，今朝早有冇執到？冇執到啊？哦，咁你都執到好啊！咁啊呢度變咗免費係咪啊？
And Ivan Leo comes to the table.
I don't remember too much of his short deck game, but I do remember him being aggressive.
Yeah, he's very aggressive in No Limit Hold'em. Let's see if that carries over to short deck. Well, he's raising up his first hand at the table.
So Ivan final tabled the main event earlier today. Yeah, there will be a lot of limping in this game because the price is so good. Everyone has put in 3,000. You only need to put 3,000 more. So you put 3,000 to win the 21,000 pot. You're getting 7-1 just to call 3,000 more. 7-1 generally means you don't need too much equity in the hand in order to try and see a flop, assuming no one blows you off of it.
As we can see, this one going 5 ways.
Ace Jack 7. Ivan's got 2 pair. He's got the best hand. Sass has got a straight draw to the nuts, but Kuhn's got 2 blockers to those straight draws. In this game, everyone shares cards. Ivan's shoved all in, just trying to shut out all of the draws. Seems like a reasonable play when you're playing 5 ways. Like, so the thing is, say you bet the flop, you got like weak 2 pair. What turn card is good besides an ace and a 7? Right? Like a king or queen might make a straight, a 10 or 9 might make a straight. You actually have no idea.
45 entries on it.
So Sass is actually
What is
thinking
Sass
about
thinking
it
about?
with the nut straight draw blocker.
We still have,
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Is there some other draws I'm not aware of?
hour in this level and another
Don't think
3
so.
hours of registration left. And there's like at least 5 people that just haven't even shown up to play yet.
Yeah.
Uniques, yeah, it won't go. Maybe it won't go to 100, but it'll be a lot. Depending on how blasty it is. I wouldn't be like.
So top and bottom pair in this game, actually not a super strong hand, but the thing that's different about this game than No Limit Hold'em is that if somebody had a hand stronger than Ivan Leo, let's say they had a set or top 2 pair, it's very likely they would have led the flop. With that many players in the pot, it's a disaster if you have a hand like top 2 pair or middle set and it gets checked through. So therefore, when it's checked all the way around to Ivan Leo, he's pretty comfortable he has the best hand.
Yeah, and do you like just the shove, or do you think it's better from the bet?
I
'Cause,
like the shove.
I find like it's just going to be so hard to play the turn.
Yeah.
Now, in this game, what I've noticed is that people actually do very big bet sizes post-flop, like pot-size bets. Often, people aren't betting like a third pot like we've been seeing in No Limit Hold'em. And the reason, again, is because equities run so close, you need to charge your opponent the right price for them not to be able to draw profitably.
If you lose, at least 10 buy-in.
So Devin Tong's going to check back to 8-6. And actually, Devin's draw is pretty good. He's the only one with a club. It's not a great hand, but he's the only one with the club. So he can actually win this pot. It's 36%. Turn is an 8. Kuhn has 50% now. Pogorski's the worst hand. Is actually the one betting.
17.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Pogorski's firing on this board. He just has second pair. There are all kinds of straight draws, and he doesn't even have a club.
So Kuhn calls. What do you do here if you're Devin? Got a flush draw. Okay, he folds.
Yeah, I think that's a good fold.
Well, he would have made a flush. And Pogorski doesn't have a flush.
He looks a little deflated.
Check, check. And Kuhn wins with 2 pair.
King Queen. Kang Queen.
我都上咗好耐。而家第3個咧。
So here are the updated chip counts at this featured table. Devon Tang is the chip leader, but right behind him, Jason Kuhn. Richard Young bringing up the rear here. Gabe Kabortsky, Alan Sauce, and Ivan Leo, all in the middle. We got 3 Americans at this table.
So 3 Americans, 2 Malaysians, and Hong Kong.
Here's one of the Americans, Jason Kuhn. Has that American flag on his jacket there.
Ivan here of ace, 8 of clubs. I've seen a lot of people try and see flops with suited aces.
Yeah, I think he's gonna call.
Wait.
I had 6. It's 8.
Well, that's kind of scary because it kind of looks like he was trying to raise. So he checks. So Devin Tong flops top 2 pair. 37%. Now, if you don't realize, Ivan Leo can make a straight if he hits a 7.
No.
Bet 25.
Over to Jason Kuhn. He's got the nut straight draw. So he's going to make the call here. Ivan here with an inside straight draw if he can hit a 7. Actually has more equity than Jason Kuhn, so he's going to make the call. 2 players trying to draw to a straight. Devin trying to dodge a lot of cards. Turns an 8. Devin still has the best hand of top 2 pair. It's a little tricky because some players do make a straight if they have ace 7 or 10-7. Ivan's got 35% of his hand. I didn't realize it's so high. You can hit any ace, any 7, any 8. So Devin bets 75K and over to Ivan. Ivan Leo's got 32% equity.
You gonna have a crazy long series schedule or anything? I mean, I'm gonna play a lot, but I won't be playing a lot for World Series. I'll play a few games. Cash or what do you mean? Yeah. Aria? Yeah, Aria Bellagio. Occasional like Aria tournament. But you playing the 300? Yeah. Good luck. Thanks, man.
You playing party poker? Or you're like a party poker or something? You're playing that thing tonight? Just getting no sleep, go for it?
Yeah, I probably can't. You know, if we bag up in this thing, it'll be worth so much. I don't think it'll really be. I think they're already in there firing too. Yeah.
I just heard Steve talk about it. I don't know
It's
anything.
huge. It's 5 million guarantee, 25K. It's a monster. And it's overlay too.
So Ivan here, ace 8. He's gonna let go. Doesn't seem like a tough decision for him, surprisingly.
I don't think that it's out of the question. I think there's a chance the right people came into town. But I mean, during the summer, it's like everyone's coming in. Yeah, so I'd say we'll play.
So Devon's the table chip leader, almost 2 million chips.
I think it's just it. Big one.
Yeah.
Also only for the.
The button does close the action pre-flop, which is also kind of like the big blind because
There is a cap, but it's open.
the button will double ante.
He remind me, but I cannot go.
So the blinds are up to 4,000, 8,000.
It's annoying.
Richard Rahm, Queen Jack. I think there's a shove.
Competing tournament that's much better.
I've seen a
Yeah,
lot
I
of-
think we'll see a move all in here. He's investing 67 to win a pot of 28.
Yeah, he's gonna. If he takes us down,
It's gonna be $1 million for some. I was saying
takes us down pre-flop. Did he just fold? He just folded actually.
Wow.
Seems a little tight.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, I think that's very tight. And now Ivan Leo calls.
Yeah, they're great.
I think there's
That's a
more.
hand he could have shoved as well.
Yeah, there's more incentive to
Oh, sorry guys.
steal the blinds
Sorry guys. That one?
in antes because they're so large.
I raised to 48,000.
Nice, 48.
But the good news is that Kuhn actually has a hand. Yeah, but actually I didn't expect Leo to fold ace-jack with his stack size.
Yeah, if he's going to go all in, I would have preferred for him to just open shove his hand.
I'm feeling a chop. Not today, buddy.
So Ivan needs to hit a jack or some straight of some
Wait,
sorts.
don't you want the opposite? Yeah, you do, but it's just not. That's not the way it is. Beggars can't be choosers.
There's queen on the flop, so Ivan needs to hit a 10. There's 4 10s left. 24% chance to hit it though.
Yeah, I don't really see the chop happening. See some things happening. I mean, runner.
And he does not.
Bullet for him.
So Ivan's going to put in his re-entry ticket. Get another 100,000 chips.
I hope you say that for like the next 2 days straight. I'll do it. Keep saying it. I don't care. Are you over Devin yet? Who's chip lead? I think Devin. I'm not sure. Maybe it's close, but I'd say he's chip leader. Maybe me, actually. Oh, you tricked me. You got me good there. I was like, no, and now I get to correct you, and then you threw a damn yellow in. Don't worry, there'll be time. I'll get more Jameson. No, you're sharp at the table. I don't see you miss too often and stuff like that. That's one thing I've noticed.
我大概200度啦。
Got them all fooled.
佢同我差唔多，都係200。
So Pogorski calls of ace jack. Pocket nines for Kuhn. It's gonna come along. Sass. King 6 offsuit. Gonna check it. So Kuhn flops a set of nines. Pogorski has a nut straight draw. Sass just has a king high, so he bets 25,000. I think Kuhn is supposed to just call here pocket nines, but he's actually going to raise. What are your thoughts? Do you run into like the nuts a decent amount, like king jack?
Well, pocket nines actually has good equity against king jack. He's more worried about pocket tens or pocket queens.
So Pogorski makes the call, 29% equity. Turn is an ace. It does improve his hand, but doesn't change the equity. It's still at 29%.
Yeah, set against the nut straight on this flop. The set is actually slightly ahead.
Okay, so like 55%. So you do want to get it in.
But of course, if his opponent happened to have a higher set, Kuhn would have been in very bad shape.
So Kuhn's betting again. Pogorski with ace jack, top pair, open and a straight draw. It's getting a good price.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see Pogorski fold here. And it would be the right call if he makes it with his equity. But what Pogorski's worried about is a hand like King Jack, where his equity is quite a bit. Or I'm sorry, King Jack, where he just has no equity whatsoever. You only have chop outs against that hand.
So the river's an 8. He does make a straight. Goes check, check.
Kuhn doesn't like to see that.
Yeah, straight's much easier to make in this game.
This game is something.
Short deck.
Jason Kuhn saying, man, oh man.
What do you mean short deck?
Flop a set, put in multiple barrels.
Yeah, so would you say possibly
I think he got lucky.
the adjustment is to bet bigger as Kuhn?
I got it straight.
Like, given that he was getting the right price for that bet sizing, I guess you would just make it more like pot, right?
Right. I mean, in general in this game, because equities run closer, you should be betting bigger. I think the reason we saw Kuhn not bet super big there is because King Jack and Jack 8 are decent parts of Kuhn's range. So his opponent might not want to be peeling super wide in case he's drawing to a chop outs.
Or that's the opposite of bounce, right?
He didn't call? Oh. Okay.
Alright, so Richard Young of ace-7 offsuit is going to take a free
I
flop.
thought I saw the 8K laying out there for some reason. 3 pairs.
So a straight draw for Kuhn and Alan
You won a big
Sass.
tournament a few years ago, right?
The nut flush draw.
Didn't you win a big tournament?
No.
No. Chinese businessman, sorry.
Chinese businessman.
Businessman tournament. You can win a businessman tournament, that's okay.
Kuhn raises with 10-9. Well, Sass, see,
Is this
making
one
a
that's OG? Sometimes. All right. Carrie Katz always says this thing. It
so
says
sometimes
he like limps off short stack.
Kuhn has a full
You're
house,
thinking about raising, and he's like,
but in this game, if you make a flush,
I
you
said
will beat a
Furcat.
full
I was
house.
like, Furcat doesn't have.
No, Carrie Katz.
Yeah.
So even if Kuhn has King Queen right now, if Sass can make the flush, he will win.
Furcat is his screen name or his Russian name?
Russian name. Furcat.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy though. I think he's a nice guy. I just met him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah, I just met him here also. I mean, I saw him before.
Goes
but
check, check on the turn.
And Sass has the best hand. River and
I feel
Pair
like everyone in
Kings.
this tournament's cool. I can't think of anyone like
So Kuhn must think that Sass has a hand like
Besides
an
like-
8.
Sometimes Tom and Jungle sometimes.
Who?
Who else? Let me look around. There's Jamie, Jungle, yeah. Paul. Shanghai. No, I'm just kidding.
Were you
Good
unsure
time.
for a second who won? Or, hey?
No, I was sure. I was just.
What'd you have? Sorry, I didn't see. I was.
King 7 of spades.
So they're discussing who's not a nice guy in poker.
Do you want that up?
Told you I had
You remember something? Or you
Yeah,
both?
yeah, he sucked out on me.
I had the best hand.
Sucked out.
Whole time. Don't listen to this guy.
Run good's over, man.
So Jameson, what am I gonna do?
Trips are not stronger than a straight in this game. At least not in this version.
Call.
8,000?
Yeah, no discount. No sale.
Hold.
Cash game player.
Cash game
Not
player.
used to blinds.
Businessman,
changing the
first
whole-
tournament.
Are you selling? Selling?
Yeah.
55.
You just getting ready?
Good luck.
Yeah, Jack 6.
So Richard Young's all in with pocket kings. Devin Tong with ace queen's going to make the call, and Pogorski calls with pocket 9. So we got a three-way with a side pot.
6-6. Please.
Flop is 7-7-6. Richard Young has a 60% chance to win this pot right now. Turn is a 9. Devin actually rivers a pair of queens, and Pogorski's going to try and get some value out of those queens. So small bet, 60,000. And Pogorski's going to show his boat.
Oh!
Richard Young's kings are down.
That's what I wanted to do last hand. Ah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Bullet. There you go, Richard.
So Richard Young's going to get another 100,000 in chips.
Wait till I hit. You ain't there yet. No, that's not you. That's me.
Give him something. Give him something, dealer. Give him something.
Funny, the poker news reporters have no chance this tournament. Like, to get like any of the hands. Yeah. They'll just go way too
佢等我
fast.
中咗女先打錢，冚家鏟。去啊！我點知啊？後邊咁梗係唔去，一對九梗係唔去。我點知一對九
So
啫？
Alan Sass of King Queen is probably going to limp, but he might raise. So far, a bunch of limps over Devin, and he checks. Jack, Jack 9. Open and straight draw for Richard Young. Middle pair for a couple people. But is Sass the one betting out into one? Sass is the one with the nut straight draw. And actually, Richard Young folded Queen 10. I'm not sure if that should be a call. I feel like that should be a call, but maybe I'm not too sure.
Well, he probably thought that Sass would have a jack there a lot of the times.
Oh, Ivy's on the come up over there. He's got himself a big stack now. How much?
Yeah, up and down straight draws tend to be very, very strong hands in this game, but if it's a paired board, then they become significantly worse.
I mean, bullets, sorry. He is in four buy-ins, right?
Is it buy-ins or players now?
I think bullet, or entries.
Entries?
Right. So I think only four tables.
Are they saying that Phil Ivey might be in for 4 entries right now? I thought that's what he said. That'd be brutal if it is true. It's at least 2.
Do you have 100K collar up? Maybe I can just sell to one of these guys so I don't have to carry it.
Tang attacking with 9-8 offsuit.
What is this?
40. No, just move him.
As we pointed out earlier, having cards that are connected in this game is very important.
Alan, you want to buy those chips right there?
I can buy some. I don't want to buy all.
Buy 100 here.
Yeah, I'll take some.
Sass calls.
Just leave all the rest if you want.
Give him a bunch of chips. Yeah, we'll pay you back tomorrow.
So Devin Tong flops a straight, but top 2 pair for Sass.
Just slide that to him. You just throw me 4 blues and we're good.
Just got to bet pretty big and charge your opponent. He's going to have so many outs.
Okay.
Like, you don't know which card you're trying to dodge, a pair or a straight card. Actually, would check.
Wow, he checked.
I would have loved betting. Seems like only a 6 and a 7 would have been the safe cards.
Yeah, I don't really understand that check. Devin should expect that if Sass had ace-king, he would have re-raised pre-flop, and he probably would not expect him to limp call king-9 ever, so he can't be afraid of anything.
So now he is betting, though, with his straight. And Sass actually makes a good fold.
River?
River.
We're allowed to?
Yeah. River.
Yeah, we're allowed.
I think they're tricking the dealer.
We're not allowed.
Well, Sass
Like, I just told him we're not allowed to rabbit hunt.
Sass was behind, but he still had 39% equity against Devin Tang's hand.
Focus. Leo media. Wow. 我懂了。
It's 35.
Here we have Devin Tang limping. Pogorski raising up the king-queen suited. And Randy, I don't think we're going to see a fold here from Tang. 9-10, a very strong hand in short deck.
Yeah, I've seen people think 10-9 is the nuts, so I'm almost tempted to put more chips in, but they're so deep. 900,000 effective, roughly. So just call and see what happens.
Pre-flop, King Queen suited is a 56% equity favorite against 9-10.
Well, 10-9 doesn't flop anything, so he's just gonna have to check fold.
Moving the other one away.
Thanks, man. You wanna see what?
Pick one. Okay. No, I thought you weren't gonna do it, so I was starting to muck it. You know, I wasn't.
So the good thing about 9-10 is not necessarily the raw equity that the hand has. It's that it's a more playable hand. It's much more playable than a hand like Ace-Jack, for example, in this game.
Yeah, generally you want to see a flop, right? And if you do flop and open in a straight draw, you can pretty much go nuts with it. Pocket nines is all in for Ivan. And I don't think Alan should be calling Ace-9 offsuit.
64, you said.
Would seem pretty loose, right? Ace-9.
Yeah, this is not a strong hand in short deck.
I mean, sure, your odds are always going to be great, but I don't know if you should choose an Ace-9 offsuit. If he makes this call, he's hoping his opponent has, like, Queen, King, and stuff. He is going to make the call. He's actually in bad shape.
I don't know, Richard. I may fold.
So now, Richard Young with Queen 10 offsuit.
Well,
actually in good shape.
In surprisingly not that bad shape. He has 42% equity in the pot.
What is that?
Well, Richard Young's all in with Queen 10 offsuit. So we got a three-way all in.
I don't know if I like my hand now. Give me that ace.
Good sweat.
Think deep, big card.
All right, so Richard Young ahead, flopping a pair of queens. Trip queen, so he's one out left, a single 9 for Ivan. So Ivan's gonna bust this bullet.
84, right?
Ivan Sass is gonna. No, Alan Sass is gonna chip up both of his opponent. So Ivan's in for his final 100,000 bullet before he has to spend another million Hong Kong. So Devin Tang with Ace-10 of clubs, he's going to make the call. Bunch of hand. I like Devin's hand the most. Ace-10 of clubs. Actually, is the best hand, surprisingly. So he flops the nut flush draw with the inside straight draw. Of course, he's gonna call a top pair of kings. And Ivan has 2 pairs, so he should be shoving his 100K stack here. So he does shove. I wonder what, I believe Devin should be calling here with the nut flush draw. He doesn't really need to push his opponent out, does he?
No, I think he should just call here. This is similar to No Limit Hold'em in that you actually want multi-way action with hands like this?
Because sometimes your opponent will be drawing to a flush as well. You want to flush over flush someone if you can, right?
92. Call.
Wow.
Flush it.
Pogorski with a loose call here. Generally, in short deck, calling with just one pair and no draw is kind of dicey.
Yeah, you're kind of optimistic.
I'm gonna sweat it.
So he thinks this is a really good card for him because he's got more outs, and Devin checks the nuts very quickly too.
Pogorski peeking at it from behind his hand there.
Pogorski might think he can potentially turn his hand to a bluff. He checks though. River's an ace. Pogorski makes it straight. This is a great card for Devin. He's going to bet.
How big though?
I mean, I think I'm just only going to get called by a 10, so just bet what do you think a 10 would call?
Well, a 10 would a 10 call an overbet here? Most likely, right?
Probably, right? Yeah. So he bets. I don't think he bet enough.
No,
Just
he
100.
bet very small.
Yeah, I think he could have bet more.
I think he's trying to get called by like 2 pair.
Oh!
Almost so close.
What that?
He didn't realize how strong Pogorski's hand was. So Ivan Leo's been eliminated.
I don't know why I didn't go. My whole plan was actually just rip it on. And I was thinking, oh, nice businessman. I don't want to bluff him off his chop.
Because it's on TV.
Right. I don't want to.
Like every time I'll see him gonna.
I don't need to lose face. So I'll just call, chop it up.
So far there have been 45 entries in this tournament.
Nice spot though.
As you can see at our feature table, Devon Tang way in the lead. He has more chips than the rest of the table combined times 2.
This is an unlimited re-entry event.
I did not see it, yeah.
And a very high variance game though.
Yeah, the buy-in to this tournament, 1 million Hong Kong dollars. And Randy, I think it's safe to say that this tournament is going to get more entries than even the main event did, right?
Oh,
That is what people are suspecting. Already heading towards 50 players. The main event got 63 players.
All right, break time.
If I wanted the ace of club or 10 of club on the river,
Looks
I would
like
have
there
had
might be a break coming up.
You blocked my royal. You needed my card. Love short neck.
Yeah, it seems to me like Pogorski prefers short deck to No Limit Hold'em.
Yeah.
What a game.
Sure. Hey Gabe, did you ever figure out direct flights from Podgorica or whatever?
Yeah, it's like Istanbul, Moscow,
No good ones in Europe?
maybe Belgrade, but that's not really.
So Dubrovnik maybe better airport to go?
We got a new player sitting down at our feature table. That's Shanghai Wong. Very good player. We saw play at €1 million cash game out of play. Very aggressive. Looks like he's got a pretty good stack too. I don't see any re-entry tickets though.
Already?
He comes out raising.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised he plays short deck regularly. So Shanghai Wong's got Jack 10 of clubs. I'm actually pretty interested to see how he plays this game. Seems like someone who's played a lot of short deck. Alright, so he's got an open and a straight draw, looking for a king or an 8. He was the pre-flop raiser. Expect to see him continuation bet. So Shanghai Wong's gonna bet.
He's much.
I don't know. I mean, it was a bet in the call in the river. You just can't muck it.
Right. Just bye. Go to the beach.
So he's gonna bet 65,000. It's about 80% of the pot. Alan Sass with top pair 10 kicker. It's gonna be a tricky spot if he gets multiple barrel. He actually shoves all in.
Wow.
Not what I expected. You expected a call, right? No.
Yeah, I mean, they are pretty short stacked here.
So I think Shanghai Wong makes the call. Looking for a king or an 8. He's got 35%.
Insurance.
Got the nut.
Jack 10?
Nut straight draw.
Alright. Give me a sweet 9.
Turn is a 6. He still has 29%. River is a king. Shanghai Wong makes the nut straight.
Shanghai Wong!
Everyone rooted for him at the same time.
Rebuy.
So Shanghai Wong has taken all of Alan Sass's chips. Alan Sass needing to use a re-entry ticket to get another 100,000. I like the way he plays. It's fast, aggressive.
Change, please, sir.
Yeah, Alan Sass got it in good there. He read the situation very well, shoved over the C-bet. Just didn't get lucky.
Need more. Still need more. 10 more.
It was an interesting shove by Sass because if Shanghai Wong happened to have an overpair, Sass was in very bad shape
Very
there.
bad shape.
Or if he had king, queen, ace, queen.
Look at this. Shanghai Wong is limp ace king under the gun. Tricky player. Devin Tong, pocket 10s. He limps, so he's going to get a 4-way flop. And this flop, Shanghai Wong's in the lead of top ace king. Top pair, top kicker. He's going to bet out 25,000. So Pogorski now betting the turn after Shanghai Wong checked. Pogorski has a straight draw, which is a 9. Shanghai Wong makes the call. Comes the river. The river's an ace. So both players making trip aces. Shanghai Wong checks. Pogorski thinking about getting thin value here of ace 8. Is it worth betting? He is going to go for value here. Very small value. 35,000. He thinks Shanghai Wong's got like king, queen a decent amount or like pocket kings. Will Shanghai Wong actually raise here for value or just call? I think it looks like he's just going to call. It's a very small bet.
Yeah, super tiny bet.
Very thin.
So Shanghai Wang sits down and wins back-to-back pots.
Lee high.
The ace, you know?
Yeah, 3 of them.
3 of them.
Thank you.
So Shanghai, the nickname that everyone calls him. I'm going to assume it's because he's from Shanghai. Pair versus
Shanghai
pair.
Wang took a stab at this flop, turn 2 pair.
He's going to go for value. I suspect Pogorski's not going to fold. He feels like just too many, like, 10 jack, 10 kings.
I would be mucking this hand all day in short deck. In
Yeah.
short deck, in order to continue, you really want to have a draw with your hand. Just calling with the pair is kind of disaster.
Yeah, but Pogorski seems to be trying to pick off Shanghai Wang over and over again. It's not working.
Yeah, so basic strategy differences in short deck versus regular no limit hold'em is that actually you want to start folding some pair hands that don't have draws in short deck that you would call a no limit hold'em. So even like a top pair with no draw or second pair with no draw, these hands become pretty weak in short deck. Whereas like bottom pair plus a gut shot or bottom pair plus an up and down straight draw, those hands are actually quite a bit stronger.
That makes a lot of sense to me. He's got 1.5 million chips. I actually think he feels pretty comfortable in this game, much more comfortable. And, you know, some of these other professionals that normally play no limit might not have the same amount of experience as Shanghai Wang. So we're going to have a 5-way flop coming up. So Richard Young just betting his trips.
Yeah, Young just leading in this board. You almost always want to bet to protect your equity in this game, but on a board like King, King, 8, when there are no straight possibilities, I actually think that Young should have checked in order to induce a bluff.
So Devin Tong here, pocket sevens. Probably going to try and see a flop. So a 5-way flop coming. Jack, Jack 9. You would think that someone's got a jack in a 5-way short deck flop, but no one does. So checks around. Just 3 jacks on the board now. No player with a jack. Pogorski with the best hand with a 9, as well as Richard Young. He's going to bet out. Try and take this pot down. So they're going to show that one down. Pot goes to 50-50. So again, we're going to play 7 levels today.
Fold.
And we'll be back with more action tomorrow. Day 2 of this event. Playing down. Playing the finish. Shanghai Wong with pocket kings. He's going to open up to 29,000.
How much?
29.
Devin Tong with 8-6 of hearts.
Eight-six of hearts, not a really strong hand here. It's more important that your hand is perfectly connected than that it's suited. It's the opposite of no limit hold'em. No limit hold'em, 8-6 of hearts, a stronger hand than 7-8 offsuit.
Yep. Well, he does have position, so he can at least see what happens. Flop is nothing. Shanghai Wong with pocket kings. He's going to make the bet. 30,000.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that Tong is going to continue on this board here. There are a lot of hands that have gut shots or up and down straight draws that he may choose with which to continue. So if you're just tuning in, you are watching the 1 million Hong Kong dollar event number 4 of the Triton Super High Roller Series Montenegro 2018. This is the final event of the series.
But we still got cash games.
60.
There are always cash games, and Sass is moving all in here for his remaining 68,000. Pogorski, snap calls here, getting a pretty decent price on the button.
Well, he's not dominated, so it's probably a call. 7-7-7 flop, always 7. Needs to hit a queen or an 8. Turns a 6. River's a 10.
Wow.
Alan Sass doubles up with King Jack high.
Pre-flop equity there was about 60-40 in favor of Sass.
King high good.
Yeah, how
What the
how often
fuck?
does like no pair hold
Not often.
short deck? Like
It's never happened.
50%.
first time. This is first time.
It happens less than 10%.
Yeah, unless it's like ace king versus ace queen, different, but 4 live cards.
Yeah.
Never.
Blinds are 4,000, 8,000 right now. Richard Young gonna limp. Devin's gonna call. Pogorski calls and Shanghai Wong calls with pocket sixes. Ace Jack Jack. Pogorski flop trip jacks with a king kicker. Richard Young's got the second best hand of ace queen. But Devin Tong's the one betting of queen 10. We got a call. Richard Young's gonna lay down his ace queen wisely.
What?
4 and 8.
Yeah, Devin Tong with only 4% equity in this pot. Now he's drawing dead.
Well, he does check. Because if he hits a king, Pogorski would make a full house. That's 40,000. I don't see how Devin could continue here, so he's gonna muck it.
So if you guys are watching at home and you're interested in the game of short deck, no limit hold'em, all you need to do to play is remove the deuces through fives from the deck, get a 36 card deck, get some friends together and play, and always remember the ace counts as a 5 as a straight, and also flushes beat a full house.
I know, it's a good fold.
Yeah, the straight one is the harder rule to remember.
Good fold.
Yeah, also the antes. The antes are a lot different than a no limit hold'em. It's basically like pretend that every single position is a small blind except for the button is a big blind.
What am I supposed to do?
It's the way that I think about it.
Maybe a queen 10?
No, I had to bet. No. You'll see.
Here's Tong with pocket aces.
Go watch this.
Gonna make the raise to 40,000.
Pocket aces still the strongest hand in short deck, obviously, just like no limit hold'em, but equities still do run closer. We've seen aces get cracked many times just watching event number 1 here.
Shanghai Wong folds ace jack very wisely. Ace jack doesn't do very well in this game.
Yeah, Tong takes it down, and I'm not even sure if you want action when you have pocket aces in this game.
It's hard to maneuver post flop if you don't flop a set because you're not really sure which cards you're trying to dodge. Pocket sevens for Devin Tong. Pogorski probably going to come along with queen 9 of diamonds. Shanghai calls with king jack suited. Sass is going to come along, and Richard Young is probably going to check this button.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised we didn't see Shanghai raise. This is a good hand to get aggressive with.
Well, he's a tricky player. Flop is ace, ace 9. Bunch of paired boards lately. Pogorski with the best hand, queen 9, but Sass is the one betting. And Pogorski folds the best hand, queen 9. So Sass is going to pick up that pot.
Pogorski and Sass call here. Tong checks a very weak hand on the button in Jack 7 offsuit.
Another paired board. Pogorski with an inside straight draw. It's the one betting. I noticed that a lot of people bet their gut shots in this game. Sass calls with ace 10. We probably can't handle too much heat if Pogorski bets again.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a loose call by Sass with another player behind. But it was a button, and he likely would have raised his strong aces.
So he does turn to full house, so worked out easily on the turn. It's gonna.
Yeah, easy check back for Sass. He's only going to get one more street from any hand here. Now he's betting a size to target a call from a king.
I doubt Jack High will do anything, so on to the next hand.
Time. The hand was done on the flop.
No, I couldn't, you know.
Yeah.
I had the king. What am I gonna do? No. Short deck.
Bad call done.
Done. Bye.
Next hand. No need river.
I'm time banking just to piss everyone off.
You're not deep enough to let him fold an ace.
Right. Quad bet.
Yeah, of course.
So Richard Young, King 9 of clubs. He's going to try and see a flop. Devin with Jack 10.
Last hand for the level and break.
So we will have a break coming up.
打了这个就是多15分钟之后，打到一个小时就结束。
再打15分钟，对不对？
明天3点再打。
We'll play one more level after the break today.
唔係你一定要。
做咩而家唔打耐啲咧咁？
我點知你哋一覺？
咁早都瞓唔着。
唔係你係你打耐啲，聽日佢點買啊 ？rebuy 嗰啲點買啊？
哦。
咪越嚟越短。
係啊。哦，咁樣都好難就。
嚇？
好難就，好多嘢要就啊嘛。
你一定唔係沙巴講得啱咧，一開始就唔可以打咁大500。
要加啲500蚊買喺度，係啊。啊？要加啲500蚊買喺度。
係啊，變咗你就冇咁快。咪依家你人哋有 rebuy 難 rebuy 啊，變咗你個 pool 永遠唔會大。係啊。所以到80個好犀利啊，去唔到好盡。
So, Devin here, Jack 9. Very bad draw. It's the last hand before the break.
休息10分鐘。
And Devin is betting again. He can actually get Shanghai Wong to fold a hand like King Jack. Very aggressive play. It will work. And it does. So we're going to take a 10-minute break, and we'll see you guys in a bit as we wrap up the final level after the break.
Hi, Jason.
Hey.
How's it going?
Fantastic.
You've been having quite an adventurous day You've had an adventurous night. Tell me what happened last night.
Madness, yeah. I wasn't really prepared for that. I was told I was going to play 1K, 2K, Euro, and I was like, that's a big game. Then in like 40 minutes, we're playing like 2K or 4K, 8K, 16K or something, and yeah, happened to play some pretty big pots. It was a ride. I'm lucky to get out ahead somehow. I was stuck a bunch pretty early, so lucky to win a big pot and a few others at the end, and I won small.
This is one of the biggest cash game buy-ins that I have ever seen. What was going through your head when you heard that it's happening, when you made the decision you're going to play?
I'm just always trying to be in the right headspace to play my best. That day was kind of unique because I'd been up for about 20 hours prior playing cash games. So it all kind of felt like a blur. You know, I felt focused and like I did okay with most of my decision making given the amount of stress and the different things happening at the table. But yeah, I just, situations like that, I just try to make sure that I can perform, and I've done a lot of preparation over the years to be ready for moments like that, and I've played a lot of big high-stakes games. I don't, yeah, televised-wise, that's by far the biggest I've ever played, and one of the biggest cash games I've just ever played in, period. So it was a fun experience. I think we're going to play a few more days here.
I was just about to say, are we going to see you again?
Yes, I think we're going to play a big strip deck cash game. They don't like when I say strip deck because they affiliate that with strip poker, so let me say short deck. Or
Yes, short deck.
Yeah, so I'm going to play that, and then probably another couple rounds of big full deck action. That was really amazing stuff.
So we're gonna see a lot of action here. Well, thank you very much, Jason, and good luck in the tournament tonight.
Thanks.
Thank you.